pivot real quick because
Yeah.
you said a couple of times that you're a conservative. You're an old school conservative. You're a What does it mean to be a conservative?
Really, to me, it's small government, less intrusiveness in people's lives.
I
You can
think
take,
do you think that may be one of the reasons why we're also I don't want to say just MAGA, but but just to characterize this conservative group. Do you think we've forgotten why we exist and
yes,
that's the reason why we're losing, and instead we're making it about a person and versus the principles?
yes, 100%. I mean, look, Trump, I mean, Trump gets it because Trump is a boomer. Ultimately, Trump is a boomer who grew up in a great America and understands what
Yeah.
small government, peace through strength, again, not reaching into people's lives. That's why, like for me, ultimately, my conservatism is small government, less government spending. It's the restrictions on government. I should agree with lots of well, actually, the libertarians should agree with me. But because Trump had those beliefs and was a little bit more liberal with certain things, the libertarians had to redefine themselves and like went on wacky pills
Yeah.
and went crazy. And now all
Uh-huh.
they are is like drugs and patchouli oil is what they smell like when you go to their conventions. It smells like armpits and weirdos because that's all they have left because Trump should be representing everything that they believe. But for some reason, they had to still be different. They couldn't just go along with what was good. Um, but yeah, my conservatism and my definition of conservatism is as small a government as possible, with as little intrusiveness into our lives as possible, but with peace through strength, defending our country. Crazy concept that's conservative. It should be liberal too, but defending our country, defending our borders, having a strong country, having a strong military, and that small government and less intrusiveness and less tax and less reaching into people's lives includes us not getting involved in wars that we don't need to be involved in. Like we
I
shouldn't be
agree.
Team America World Police. So
I agree.
there's just all of these elements put together. Law and order in our streets. We protect our home first. It ain't deep,
It's
but it's
not.
gone off the deep end.
But I don't think we spend enough time talking about why we exist.
Yes.
Instead, we move with the whims of people versus staying grounded to the principles, right? I believe. I mean, I mean, you haven't said this yet. I don't know how you feel about, but even the moral side of things, right? I mean, I know that we try to make distinctions that go, no, 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 just small government, please. But even John Adams said our Constitution is made only for a moral
Yeah.
and religious people, right? Moral, not which church you go to, but just the fact that there's a difference between right and wrong.
Yep.
A man wearing breasts, what do you call it? I don't know, I forgot the
Like lingerie or something, dancing in front of kids, or like
no,
a
I mean
burlesque.
like they literally put on this kind of bodysuit with
Oh yeah,
breasts
yeah,
and they go gyrating in front of a room full of 5-year-olds.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's
wrong.
unacceptable. That's
That's
unacceptable in
wrong.
any society other than ours up until like what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, but
Like
that's wrong, right?
yes. Yeah.
Or
Oh
like a
yeah.
little girl. I mean, the number of little girls, Vivek was so amazing. He allowed me to bring, as part of, going out and talking, especially during the year of these school board races, going out and talking to all of these parent groups with detransitioners, little girls who were lied to, had their bodies mutilated and cut up, whether they, no longer have breasts. Some girls' uteruses were removed at 18. I mean, just evil. I mean,
Yeah.
even a dog knows to protect this young.
Yeah.
And
No.
so, that too is what it means to be a conservative, of remembering those particular principles and values that actually made our country strong. And one of those was that parents understand or is in control of the education of their children, not the government.
But see, I like consider myself a dirty lib now because back in the day and still now, I don't think the government should be involved in who gets married to who. I think that's a church issue. And so like for me, I have no problems if you want to marry whoever in your day. I don't care. But it's when you start affecting other people's children, it's when you start telling other people to, what pronouns to call you, and that, at some point it was, at some point between, I'd say 2000 and now, it went from "it's not your business what's happening in my bedroom" to "I want you to applaud everything in my
Yeah.
bedroom, and I'm going to perform it in front of
But
children."
that's actually Bible. What you're saying right now is actually Bible. That's Psalm, I think it's Psalms chapter 1, maybe Proverbs chapter 1, but it's Psalms or Proverbs chapter 1, where it's not enough to just walk by it. It's not enough to just stand and look. They want you to sit and applaud, right? And I do believe the government has a role to play and what types of families we want to push, because the family is the bedrock of every community, of every town, of every government. And I believe that history shows certain family configurations is better in nurturing
Oh,
that next
yeah.
generation of taxpayers and doctors and lawyers, right?
Just
And
leave the
so,
taxpayers and the government's in on it. But no, I'm right with you. I'm going to cut you off there because I'm right with you here. I don't care what two adults do, but I do
yes,
care about protecting children.
yes,
And so up until you're 18, I believe that the government does have a role in protecting children,
yes,
and that includes adoptions, that includes lots and lots of things, abortion also, because there's a child there too. So the government should be involved in that and protecting children. But
yes.
once you're an adult, you can make whatever mistake you want to make,
And,
as
and,
long as it's not
and
criminal.
once you're an adult and my tax dollars aren't paying for it,